Alright, welcome back everyone. Today we have how good were the Showtime Lakers? Obviously we all know this was at the time with Magic and Kareem. Sheesh. During Magic and Bird, rivalry era. And hey, obviously that time it was it was crazy because when people talk about fast paced basketball, hey, that's like the blueprint, led by Magic Johnson. And I know they won multiple championships, during that time. But hey, we're here to see, how exactly did they beat those teams? Was it just talent or was it, the system? This is definitely the era where offense became, entertainment and not just, efficiency. So let's go ahead and see it. Hope you guys are doing fine. Let's go.
For 1979, the Lakers were the biggest losers in the NBA. After moving from Minneapolis to Los Angeles in 1960, the Lakers appeared in 9 NBA Finals, but lost 8 of them, mostly to Bill Russell and the Celtics. But in 1975, the Lakers added the best player in the world, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. However, despite Kareem winning 2 MVPs during his first 4 seasons in LA, the Lakers only won 2 playoff series. To make things even worse, the team was losing money, filling only 60% of their stadium's capacity. But to turn things around, all they needed was a bit of magic. With the first overall pick in the '79 draft, the Lakers selected Earvin Magic Johnson, and together with their new owner Jerry Buss, the Lakers immediately transformed into a winning franchise. Between 1980 and 1991, the Lakers made the NBA Finals 9 times, winning 5 championships and leading the league in offensive ratings 7 times. The Lakers were called Showtime, and Showtime was the most attractive basketball spectacle on the planet.
And the one thing Dr. Buss always said is we want you to entertain the entertainers. And that was our role.
With a fast-paced offense, no-look passes, and celebrities sitting courtside, Showtime transformed how the NBA games were consumed, how the game was played, and most importantly, it saved the NBA.
We won championships, we lost championships. We have a history together that you can't replace.
This is the story of the Showtime Lakers, the most successful era in franchise history. The most expensive divorce of all time is that of Bill Gates, who gave up $76 billion to divorce Melinda Gates. But back in 1979, the world record for the most expensive divorce belonged to Jack Kent Cooke, who owned the Lakers. To rebuild his capital, Cooke decided to sell the Lakers to Dr. Jerry Buss, a successful real estate man. Buss acquired the Lakers from Cooke in a complex $67 million deal that involved cash and land swaps and also included the sale of the Forum Arena, the Los Angeles Kings, and other assets, making it the largest deal in sports history at the time.
Dr. Buss, let me ask you, first of all, why would you want to buy the Forum?
The Forum is a magnificent piece of real estate. So it's a combination of economics and fun. Upon its purchase, I was probably the most impressed of all the people. Everybody left the Forum to go home that night. The lights were down low. I took a portable chair, sat it out in the middle of the basketball court, lighted a cigarette and leaned back, and I thought, wow, I've really arrived.
But before he sold the team to Buss, Cooke made arguably the biggest decision in franchise history. Due to the 1976 trade with the New Orleans Jazz, the Lakers were in contention for the #1 pick in the '79 draft. And thanks to a lucky coin flip, they won the first pick over the Bulls. And yet, they almost made one of the biggest mistakes of all time. Jerry West, arguably the best general manager ever, wanted to draft Sidney Moncrief, a future 2-time Defensive Player of the Year. But Cooke disagreed and wisely decided to use the #1 pick on Magic Johnson.
You excited about being a pro?
Definitely. I'm very excited. I love the challenge and see what I can do, and that's the main thing.
When Buss bought the team, he inherited a talented team, but he still faced serious problems. The NBA was an afterthought, a distant third in viewership behind baseball and football. At the time, revenue from TV rights was minuscule, and many games, even the finals, were aired on tape delay.
The games wasn't tape. I don't even know if y'all remember that, because I remember in college, I'm watching tape delay games. Championship games, not regular season. Right. I mean, I'm watching games in my dorm at 11 o'clock at night of the finals.
The public perception of the NBA was that it was a league full of drunks, womanizers, and drug addicts, which isn't too far from the truth.
There are serious problems that clearly make this a critical year for the NBA.
When you bought the Lakers, were they making large profits at the time?
No, they were not. I think at that time, the combined statement of the Lakers and the Kings broke even, if anything, maybe showed a small loss.
However, Buss was the first NBA owner who understood that basketball wasn't just a sport, but it was also entertainment. And soon he made the whole world realize it too. His first order of business was to make the Lakers flashy on the court, and he wanted them to play fast. He hired coach Jack McKinney because McKinney wanted his teams to run. And with Magic Johnson as the new point guard, the Lakers instantly transformed into a dangerous transition team, finishing first in offensive rating in Magic's rookie season. However, the changes weren't just about basketball.
Their advertising, in most cases, is amateurish. I think there is a great lack of effort and ability to merchandise properly.
Buss fired the forum's organist and brought in a lively 10-piece band of young musicians, along with blasting music over the PA system during timeouts. He was also the first NBA owner to introduce mascots and to recruit female dancers, who became known as the Laker Girls. Furthermore, Buss wanted to make the Lakers games a status event and pack the forum with Hollywood celebrities. The seats in the higher sections of the forum remained cheap for the working class, who made a lot of noise, but Dr. Buss expanded the skybox from 13 seats to 63, where all of Hollywood hung out after games. And there was even an arena nightclub for an after-party, always filled with beautiful women. The courtside seats became the most expensive row of seats in the NBA, often frequented by movie stars, headlined by Jack Nicholson, who became known as the Lakers' #1 fan.
Why are you the #1 fan for the Lakers?
Why am I the
What makes you the #1?
Because I live in LA and I got a lot of free time.
Pretty soon, everyone wanted to be seen at NBA games. The Lakers started turning a profit for the first time in years. However, all that dancing and singing and Hollywood stars wouldn't mean anything if the product on the floor was bad. And Buss knew that.
You like excitement, you've got an exciting atmosphere for basketball here, and your Lakers are certainly an exciting team.
Well, I think first and foremost, all of these things have to be entertainment, Eddie, and I'm very pleased because obviously we're the packed house, and the fact that we're on television pleases me no end.
Magic, who had played all 5 positions at Michigan State, was slated to play point guard. Even though the Lakers already had a very good point guard, Norm Nixon, having Magic and Nixon in the backcourt gave the Lakers a lot of versatility and different ball handling options.
With Irvin and Norm, there's a good chance I will get the ball, but if I don't, that someone will get an easy shot, and in the long run, that's going to help the team.
Jamal Wilkes was one of the best small forwards in the league, and the team's second leading scorer, Michael Cooper, was an excellent defender off the bench. Kareem dominated at center. However, before the start of the 1980 season, the Lakers made a huge mistake. They traded Adrian Dantley to Utah, who averaged 30 points per game over his next 7 seasons with the Jazz, including 2 scoring titles. But the Lakers wanted to add size at power forward. So they exchanged Dantley for Spencer Haywood, who averaged 21 points per game during the '79 season. On paper, the trade made sense, because Haywood was bigger and more experienced. But in reality, it was a disaster, largely due to Haywood's drug habit, which nearly destroyed his career.
I slipped another group, and Iman was just constantly begging me, please don't go with these people. And I was like, man, I'm the prior. What the fuck? He's making me laugh.
Yeah.
I slipped, man. I slipped badly.
When the season started, it took some adjustment for the Lakers to adapt to Coach McKinney's fast-paced offense. But as the games went on and Magic got more familiar with the system, things began to change. Wins began piling up. And after the first month, the Lakers had a 9-3 record. But then disaster struck. On November 8th, Coach McKinney was riding his bike when he had an accident and hit his head. He was rushed to the hospital, and the doctors gave him a 50-50 chance of staying alive. And even though he survived, McKinney couldn't return to the bench. So Paul Westhead became the new head coach, with Pat Riley as his assistant. Using McKinney's system, Westhead successfully continued the season, finishing as the #1 seed with 60 wins and 22 losses, the second best record in franchise history. LA had the best offensive rating in the NBA, leading the league in assists and field goal percentage, shooting an unreal 53% for the season, a new NBA record. And Kareem was a big reason for that. He shot a career-high 60% from the field, while averaging 24.8 points, 10.8 rebounds, 4.5 assists, and a league-leading 3.4 blocks per game, which earned him his 6th MVP award, which is still an NBA record. However, Kareem wasn't the only Laker to hit a career high in efficiency, and the biggest reason for that was a man with the greatest smile in NBA history, Magic. Johnson's incredible court vision, combined with his impeccable ball handling and height of 6'9", allowed him to see and execute passes that no one else could. Magic was capable of throwing.
This thing about Magic, hey, Definitely greatest point guard of all time. He controlled everything. His vision is what made his vision is definitely what made the Showtime possible. Without him, the system does not exist. Magic.
Full court passes with pinpoint accuracy, grabbing the rebound himself and starting the fast break for a ton of easy baskets. No-look passes, one-handed passes, behind the back.
It's crazy because and then you have Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Kareem, as you got this dude as like a safety net in the half court. That's broken, So even if the fast break doesn't even work, you dump it to Kareem, automatic offense, Shish, this is basically a cheat code, whatever.
Passes, Magic did it all and found everyone. But what was maybe even more crucial for the Lakers than his passing was that Magic was a leader. Despite barely talking to the always quiet Kareem, who was the team's best player, Magic possessed a quality that Jabbar desperately lacked: charisma. It seemed like Magic had more teeth than any human alive due to his omnipresent smile, and the people gravitated towards him. He had the name, the game, and the flair, and was the perfect player for Jerry Buss's plan for the Lakers to become an extension of Hollywood. Due to Magic's passing wizardry, the up-tempo style of play, and the singing, dancing, and Hollywood mingling, the Lakers got nicknamed Showtime, a term that Jerry Buss borrowed from a club he frequented in the 60s, which started each night with the phrase, "It's Showtime." And even though Magic and Kareem were cordial, they weren't really the best of friends, and it took a while for their relationship to bloom. The same was true for Norm Nixon, who was jealous of Magic's popularity, feeling that he should be featured more on offense. With 18 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 7.3 assists per game, Magic finished second in Rookie of the Year voting, behind Larry Bird, which he's still mad about today.
He was Rookie of the Year. I think you got like 1 or 2 votes.
Yeah, he's mad about that.
I think it was like 32, 33 to like 1 or 2.
No, even more than that. It was 60-something to like 2.
Hey, this is crazy to think about, man. Really, Larry Bird was objectively, more deserving of the Rookie of the Year award than Magic Johnson. I mean, come on, Bird averaged 21, 10, and like 4 or 5, something like that. And Magic didn't even average 20 points. He was like 18 points per game averager, 7 rebounds, 7 assists. Bird has, the stronger scoring, the stronger, rebounding impact. Meanwhile, Magic, he led in playmaking, Team impact, was a key factor in this whole thing because, bro, the Boston Celtics, they won more games, they won 61 that year, and the Lakers won, 60. But the thing is that the previous season, the Boston Celtics had won 29 games. 29 games all the way to 61 just because that's the thing. When Larry Bird got, when he got drafted, he was the only addition to that team. So with him only, bro, 32 plus wins, 32 additional wins. This is crazy, okay? Okay, and the Lakers, they already had like I don't remember. I think the Lakers had somewhere between 45 and 50 wins, somewhere around there. So they're like 10 in between 10 to 15, additional wins, more, with the addition of Magic. But so I mean, the thing is that you guys get obviously that that obviously the team impact was favored Larry Bird way better than it did, Magic Johnson, okay? And this is a key factor because when we talk about like the role and the consistency, Bird was the clear number 1 option immediately, and he carried a previously bad team, Magic joined a team that already had Kareem, the league MVP that same season, literally, Magic was elite, but he wasn't the primary scorer or focal point every night, Plus also, it's like when you look at the results, it wasn't even really like a close, a close race for real because Bird literally won that award by a landslide, bro. He had 63 votes and Magic had like 3, So hey, definitely Bird was was a Rookie of the Year, but whatever. Bird had the bigger individual impact and team turnaround, and he was the correct and deserved winner. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, Magic. But yeah, let's get back to it.
to say that too. I gotta say that on TV. And so I was pissed, man. I was mad.
But when the playoffs started, all of that became trivial, as the Lakers had high hopes of winning their first title since 1972. Thanks to the best regular season record, the Lakers had a first-round bye. And in the conference semifinals, their high-octane offense proved too much for the Suns, with the Lakers averaging 117 points and winning the series in 5 games. In the conference finals, LA also took 5 games to get past Seattle, advancing to the finals for the first time since 1973. In the finals, the Sixers awaited, who defeated Larry Bird and the Celtics thanks to a talented team led by Julius Erving, Mo Cheeks, and Darryl Dawkins, with 7 of the players from the 2 starting fives in the finals eventually entering the Hall of Fame.
I'm looking for us to win. I have a lot of confidence that we can beat the 76ers, but all of that will not mean anything if we don't go out and put it into real terms on the court.
The Lakers won Game 1 thanks to a monster game from Kareem, who posted 33 points, 14 rebounds, 6 blocks, and 5 assists.
Damn, elite.
In Game 2, Kareem scored 38, but it wasn't enough, as the Sixers had 3 players with over 20 points and even the series. To make matters worse for the Lakers, they lost Spencer Haywood, who got removed from the team after falling asleep during practice.
And so one day I was on my way to practice.
Oh my God.
A real crazy night. We were in the playoffs for the finals. I got to have one more shot. I got to have one more hit. So then I run to practice, and I decided, well, I think I can run it out of me before this practice started. I ran around the track, just running, and all of us. So then I get to the practice, and I'm so freaking tired and so up that I fall asleep. Here's Jamal, get up, get up, get up, get up. I'm like, well, where am I?
And because Coach Westhead knew it was because of his drug habit, he would never played another game for the Lakers.
So that's when the team decided, well, it's best that you stay home for a while.
Damn.
And I'm like, but we only got 2 more games, 3 more games.
But it could have been much worse, because during his drug-infused craziness, Haywood plotted to kill Westhead, even getting in contact with a contract killer to plan an execution. But
yo, this menace society, what the hell?
Finals. In Game 3, Dr. J made the first 3-pointer in NBA Finals history. And amazingly, it was the only 3 of the entire Finals, as both teams only attempted 20 shots behind the arc, which was added at the start of the season. The Lakers then won Game 3, but the Sixers once again came back in Game 4, which will forever be remembered by Dr. J's iconic baseline move. However, in Game 5, horrible luck struck the Lakers when Jabbar twisted his ankle and had to leave the floor. Miraculously, he returned in the 4th quarter despite a visible limp and still scored 14 points in the final period, helping the Lakers take a 3-2 series lead. But Jabbar was ruled out for Game 6, and the Lakers felt doomed, with the whole team convinced they couldn't win without their best player. But Magic, being the leader that he is,
and this is when the legendary performance of rookie Magic comes in play. Hey, we all know that one, hey.
Realized that he needed to galvanize the troops. And on the flight to Philadelphia, he boarded the plane first and took Kareem's seat in the first row.
He asked everybody, he goes, what's wrong with y'all? And everybody's like, he said, have no fear. Mother Irvin Magic Johnson is here.
Now, before the game, Johnson told Coach Westhead that he would also take Kareem's starting spot at the center position, which seemed insane. A rookie point guard playing center made 0 sense. But when Game 6 started, Westhead looked like a genius, and the whole world realized why Irvin's nickname was Magic. He rebounded the ball like an all-star big man, dribbled the ball the entire length of the court, posted up, made skyhooks, and overall played like the best player in the world. The Sixers were stunned, but they couldn't crumble, and it was anybody's game with 5 minutes to go. But then, Magic completely controlled the game and scored 9 straight points, finishing with 42 total points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals, and a block, leading the Lakers to a 123-107 victory and the championship. Johnson was named the Finals MVP, and the Showtime era started off with a bang, with the Lakers finally erasing the aura of losers. Now, the following season wasn't the upgrade everyone had hoped for. Despite a virtually unchanged roster, the Lakers lost Magic due to a knee injury, who missed 45 games. Without Johnson, the Lakers went 28-17, and in the 37 games he played in, their record was 26-9, which shows how much his presence meant. Still, in his absence, Norm Nixon got more opportunity, and he played really well, averaging 17 points and 9 assists for the season. Michael Cooper also earned more playing time due to his tenacious defense, while Jamal Wilkes and Kareem remained the 2 best scorers on the team. Jabbar would also start wearing goggles permanently after he suffered a scratched cornea early in the season, and the goggles became synonymous with his later career. The Lakers finished third in the West with 54 wins, and with a healthy Magic, everyone expected them to go on another finals run. But in the first round of the playoffs, the Houston Rockets, led by league MVP Moses Malone, had other plans. Moses averaged 31 points and 17 rebounds for the series, and the Rockets advanced, leaving the Lakers with a bitter taste in their mouths. Magic had a poor series, averaging 17 points and 13 rebounds on 38% shooting and 65% on free throws. Johnson was often forcing the issue, trying to be the hero, and not giving up the ball frequently enough. This didn't sit well with Kareem, who believed that he should have gotten more touches and that the fame had gotten into Magic's head. As early as training camp, Magic was flexing his muscles as team leader over Kareem. Magic was trying to exert his influence and control the tempo of the game to his liking. He had gotten too much too soon. Coach Westhead. Before the start of the 1982 season, there were plenty of changes within the Lakers and around the NBA. Because of the invention of free agency, NBA players started negotiating for more money, and Jerry Buss realized that he needed to give raises to his players in order to keep them in LA. So Kareem and Magic were among the first NBA players to earn $1 million per season, with Magic signing an unprecedented 25-year, $25 million contract. Michael Cooper's salary jumped from $35,000 to $250,000. Norm Nixon went from $65,000 to $400,000. And Jamal Wilkes earned a $250,000 raise. And even though the other owners protested, Dr. Buss was once again ahead of the curve, as he wanted to keep his core group together. But after an early playoff exit, Buss and the Lakers knew they needed to make additions to compete for another championship. Coach Westhead demanded that the Lakers sign power forward Mitch Kupchak, which wasn't Buss's favorite idea, since Kupchak demanded an $800,000 salary, and he was only a role player. GM Bill Sharman and team counselor Jerry West loved the idea of adding Kupchak, but not for that price, as they correctly guessed that a handful of Lakers would feel underpaid and underappreciated. Westhead, however, was convinced that Kupchak was their missing piece and that he'd be an ideal sidekick to Abdul-Jabbar, and urged Buss to make the move until the boss finally accepted. With Kupchak and another young power forward, Kurt Rambis, and the veteran center, Bob McAdoo, the Lakers added size, which they had been lacking ever since the departure of Spencer Haywood. But apart from players, Coach Westhead also added another assistant coach, which infuriated the existing assistant, Pat Riley. And to add to all the drama, Norm Nixon and Magic also didn't see eye to eye. But at the start of training camp, Buss called them both into his office, after which they sorted their differences. And the common ground on which both guards agreed on was the hate for Coach Westhead. Both point guards were capable of playing fast, making decisions on the fly, and they felt that Westhead's offense was stifling them. Magic really came to hate Paul. He was usually all smiles, high-fiving people when boarding the team bus. Now, he'd get on the bus, walk straight to his seat, and just sit there. He wouldn't even look at Westhead. In practice, usually Magic would be on top of the key asking for the ball, and he'd be bobbing back and forth all energy. Now, he would just stand straight and still. Michael Cooper. 6 games into the 82 season, Magic said he wished to be traded because he was unhappy playing for Westhead.
Everybody wants to know, do you still feel the same way this morning as you did last night?
Well, really, I don't have no comment right now until after I meet with Dr. Buss. Then, you can have all the questions you want, okay?
What's the problem, Magic?
No questions right now, really. I don't have no answers till after I meet with him.
Yep, no answers, man.
Shortly after, Dr. Buss realized that the team chemistry had fallen off a cliff, and that Paul Westhead had lost the locker room.
Well, Magic got his wish. Coach Paul Westhead was canned.
Paul Westhead has been fired as the coach of the Los Angeles Lakers after the team star, Magic Johnson, said he wanted to be traded.
And in his place came a rookie coach who would become synonymous with Showtime, Pat Riley.
Magic said it's me or him.
Even though he was younger than any other head coach at the time, Pat Riley quickly proved that he was the right man for the job. The 36-year-old with the slicked back hair, wearing Armani suits, quickly commanded respect from the Lakers, especially because Riley was also a former player. However, Riley wasn't all style and no substance. Playing basketball in the 60s and 70s when the NBA had the highest pace in history, Riley wanted the Lakers to run, which perfectly suited Magic and Nixon. Furthermore, Riley was innovative on defense, as he was one of the first coaches to employ half-court traps to speed up the game. Riley's mantra was, no rebounds, no rings. reinforcing the need to fight for rebounds in order to win championships. By the end of the season, the Lakers ranked second in the NBA in rebounds, first in assists, third in steals, and second in total points, as they finished the season with 57 wins, which was the best record in the West. With a perfect blend of youth and experience, the Lakers didn't lose a single game on their way to the NBA Finals, sweeping Phoenix and San Antonio with a balanced offense, as 6 Lakers players averaged double figures in scoring. In the finals, LA once again matched up against the 76ers in what was another close series. After 5 games, Philly scored the most points, but the Lakers had a 3-2 lead and the chance to close out the series at home. In Game 6, Magic took just 3 shots, but he finished with 13 points, 13 rebounds, and 13 assists. As once again, 6 different Lakers scored in double figures, led by Wilkes, who had 27. The final score was 114-104 for LA, who won their second title in 3 years, with Magic Johnson once again named the Finals MVP. And
once
then,
again,
the rich only got richer.
What do you guys feel? Here you win the championship, you're the best team in the NBA, and you get the
This wasn't just flashy, they were winning consistently, man.
number 1 draft pick.
Well, I feel that every championship team, and the reason that you don't repeat because you don't get better. But this year we'll get a little better with this first choice, and it might help us for next season.
Rich get richer?
Yeah, so to speak, the rich gets richer.
Just like how they lucked out with Magic, in 1982 the Lakers once again won the coin flip for the number 1 overall pick, thanks to a 1980 trade with the Cavs, who ended up as the worst team of the 82 season. The new general manager, Jerry West, who took over from Bill Sharman, who in turn became the team president, selected small forward James Worthy first overall, ahead of Terry Cummings.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, yeah.
With the championship roster,
James Worthy in there is crazy, man. Like when you talk about the depth, the stars come up, bro. It's not just Magic and Kareem, guys like James Worthy thrived in the system, Everyone knew their role, It all fit perfectly. Sheesh.
Unchanged, and the addition of Worthy, the Lakers were considered title favorites. And throughout the regular season, they justified those expectations. LA had the best offense in the NBA, and they were leading the league in assists and field goal percentage, largely thanks to Magic, who led the NBA in assists with a career.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy how, with the way that they play, it's like, bro, it's like they basically forced teams to play faster than they wanted, their offense created easy points, before defenses could even set up, But shit, it's the Showtime Lakers for you.
High 10.5 dimes per game. However, just before the start of the playoffs, James Worthy got injured and ended his season.
It's just really tough.
Ended his season.
Really,
damn.
I don't understand it or just deal with it because of everything was going so good, and so we just have to try to do it and just try to hang in there and hopefully that everybody else can stay healthy.
But even without their prized rookie, the Lakers once again reached the finals with relative ease, beating the Trailblazers and the Spurs for another finals matchup with the Sixers. However, this time around, things were different. Philadelphia added Moses Malone that year, who was the best player in the world and won his 3rd MVP. Malone dominated the Lakers on the boards, grabbing 18 rebounds per game in the finals, along with 26 points. And even though the Lakers still had 6 players averaging double figures, the Sixers edged them out every game, winning the finals with a sweep. And so, after 4 years, the Lakers decided to break the backcourt partnership of Magic and Nixon. Even though Nixon averaged 17 points and 8 assists during that time and made the All-Star team, he was 28 years old and wasn't a traditional shooting guard. So LA traded him to the Clippers for the 4th pick in the 1983 draft, Byron Scott. Scott was taller, sturdier, and a better outside shooter, and 6 years younger. And trading for him was one of the first of many great decisions by Jerry West.
Yeah, I played with 6.
6 Hall of Famers.
I played with 6.
On one team?
Yeah, on one team. That's not counting the coach, and that's not counting Jerry West.
That's 6.
That's not counting Bill Sharp. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I played with Kareem, Magic, James, Coop, Silk.
Okay, what is that?
Game. You're not ready for it.
Thank you.
So
Bob McAdoo.
And even though he turned 37 years old toward the end of the season, Kareem was still doing Kareem things, leading the Lakers in scoring with 21.5 points per game. And then on April 5th, 1984, against Utah, Jabbar broke Wilt Chamberlain's record for most career points, a record he would hold until LeBron broke it in 2023. Magic was also thriving under Pat Riley, averaging a career-high 13.1 assists, along with 7.3 rebounds and 17.6 points on 56% shooting, another career high. Wilkes was still highly productive, averaging 17, and Worthy was coming into his own with 14.5 points per game, while McAdoo and Michael Cooper thrived in their roles off the bench. The NBA playoffs were expanded from 6 teams per conference to 8, and as a result, the first-round bye system was eliminated, while the first round switched from best-of-3 to best-of-5 series. So even though the Lakers had the best record in the West for the 4th time in 5 years, they had to play in the first round, where they swept the Kings. In the second round, the Mavs fell in 5 games, while the Suns lasted for 6, with the Lakers making the finals for the 3rd consecutive year. But in the finals awaited the opponent that would mark the Showtime era and the career of Magic Johnson. It was Larry Bird and the Boston Celtics, who finished with the best record in the NBA. Bird also won the MVP that season, and despite Johnson having 2 titles compared to Bird's 1 before the '84 finals, many considered Larry to be the better player, mostly because he was a superior scorer. In the playoffs, Bird was playing the best basketball of his career, shooting over 50% in every playoff series, seamlessly dropping 30-point games and double-digit assists. The finals was the hardest series for both the Celtics and the Lakers, and it took 7 games to decide a winner. But in that final game of the season, players on both teams struggled with their shot, including Larry and Magic. However, the Celtics were more poised down the stretch, winning 111-102 to secure another championship parade in Boston. With 27 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals per game, Bird was named
I still get chills to this day when I see the whole crowd, running on the court, bro. Hold on.
Winning 111-102 to secure another championship parade in Boston.
What the fuck, bro? Imagine if fans could do this today, bro. It'd be catastrophic or whatever.
27 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals per game, Bird was named the Finals MVP. But Magic didn't disappoint either, with 18 points, 8 rebounds, and nearly 14 assists per game. But for the first time ever, Bird defeated him when it mattered the most, and the Celtics increased their winning streak in the finals against the Lakers to 8. However, with the talent they had, the Lakers wouldn't be losers for long. Even though the team stayed virtually unchanged, the progress of Worthy and Byron Scott gave the Lakers 4 dangerous offensive threats.
That's when
with
Kareem
4 of their
won
stars
again,
averaging between
MVP.
16 and 22 points per game. Showtime was in full effect, and during the next season, the Lakers had the best offense in the league, shooting an incredible 45.5% from the field as a team, which is a record that still stands to this day. They won a league-best 62 games, with Magic finishing second in MVP voting behind Bird. But in the playoffs, the Lakers were clicking on all cylinders, losing just 2 games on their way to another finals clash against Boston. But in Game 1, it was a slaughter. The Lakers lost 148-114 in a game that will forever be remembered as the Memorial Day Massacre. LA got humiliated, and it seemed like they couldn't win another title with Jabbar, who was 38 at the time and played poorly in Game 1.
The media went crazy, we're over the hill, we're done. What a horrible performance. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is too old. He was run off the court by Parrish and McHale, and he looked like an old man. And the media killed us. The media killed us.
But just when everybody wrote him off, Kareem woke up. The man who was considered to be chopped liver 2 days earlier had run the floor like a 20-year-old and dominated with 30 points, 17 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 blocks. After 4 games, the series was tied. But in Game 5, Kareem shined once again, leading the Lakers to victory with 36, 7, and 7. In Game 6, Jabbar and Worthy combined for 57 points to close out the series, with Kareem deservingly winning the Finals MVP, with averages of 25, 9, and 5 for the series, while shooting 60% from the field. Kareem won the Finals MVP 14 years after winning it with the Bucks, and at 38, he's still the oldest player to achieve that.
Coach, does it make it any sweeter defeating the Celtics here at where you lost it last year?
The oldest.
Parquet floor. On our championship rings, we're going to have a parquet floor with a diamond in the middle of it.
This is what every kid who's ever picked up a basketball dreams about doing. I couldn't be happier, man. I'm the happiest guy in the world right now.
We have the people back in L.A. waiting on us now. We know they're partying for us. It's great. The title is back.
in LA. Party hard. Everybody
in LA.
Party for us.
LA.
Party for the rest of this summer.
It's time to get down.
In the summer of '85, after that final series, a monumental shift happened in the relationship between Magic and Bird. They starred in a Converse commercial together, with Magic visiting French Lick and spending time in Larry's home with the entire Bird family.
I think the plan was, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do, and I'm trying to get out of here. My plan was
we've seen all of those in a documentary, you know, Courtship of Rivals, you know. Make sure you go watch that, you know, if you haven't, but yeah.
First time ever, they talked and exchanged more than 2 sentences, and after that they struck a friendship. But their rivalry was still as bitter as ever. Whenever the season schedule came out, I would circle the 2 games with Boston. Those were the 2 games more important than the other 80, Magic Johnson said. I read the newspaper every day during the season. I was only interested in one thing. What numbers did Magic Johnson have last night? Said Larry Bird. For the '86 season, the Lakers added AC Green, who would later become a key part of the team and get known as the Iron Man, having appeared in 1,192 consecutive games. The rest of the team stayed the same, with Kareem once again leading the Lakers in scoring, while Magic led the NBA in assists. But once more, Bird was named the MVP in what was arguably the best season of his career. And just when the world geared up...
86 Celtics, you know, one of the greatest teams ever, you know, one of Larry Bird, you know, definitely Larry Bird's best season ever. 86. You know, we've reacted to a video describing, you know, his prime at his peak during that year. You guys go watch that out too. You know, it's up there on the channel. But yeah.
Up for another rematch between the Celtics and the Lakers, the Houston Rockets got in the way. In the Western Conference Finals, led by Twin Towers Hakeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson, the Rockets stunned the Lakers, advancing to the finals after 5 games, despite the Lakers' big 3 combining for 70 points per game. But what happened the following season was furious revenge and the best year of the Showtime Lakers. Kareem finally took a backseat to Magic and Worthy in scoring, averaging a career-low 17.5 points per game. However, Johnson averaged a career-high 23.9 points, along with league-leading 12.2 assists per game, finally winning his first MVP award. Michael Cooper was named Defensive Player of the Year, receiving recognition as the best perimeter defender in the game. 7 different Lakers averaged double figures in scoring for the season, and LA had the best offensive rating in the NBA for the 3rd consecutive year, and the 5th time during Magic's 8 seasons with the franchise. The Lakers won 65 games in the regular season, and they bulldozed through opponents in the playoffs, losing just 1 game on their way to another finals matchup with the Celtics, with the average margin of victory of 13 points. But the Celtics were still mighty, and their big 3 could match up against the Lakers' big 3. Even though Magic, Worthy, and Kareem averaged 68 combined points in the finals, Bird, McHale, and Dennis Johnson weren't far behind with 65 combined points. In Game 4, Larry seemed to have scored a game winner, but Magic erased it with a spectacular hook shot with 2 seconds remaining. Bird still had a good look for the win, but he missed a jump shot at the buzzer, and LA took a 3-1 series lead. The Lakers were a deeper team, with Byron Scott, Michael Cooper, AC Green, and Michael Thompson outplaying the Celtics role players, and LA ultimately won the championship in 6 games. With 26 points, 8 rebounds, and 13 assists per game, while shooting 54% from the field, Magic played the best series of his career, and he deservingly won his 3rd Finals MVP. And after the finals, Bird called Magic the best player he'd ever seen.
Magic's just a great basketball player. He's the best I've ever seen, you know. Unbelievable. I don't know what to say.
Giving him his
the
props.
1987 season was the epitome of Showtime, with the best and most attractive basketball in the NBA, most wins, and celebrities fighting
man,
to
that just shows you, man. Like it's one of the first examples of you know, identity basketball, bro. Like they had a clear style and executed it perfectly, bro.
Seen in the course
crazy.
Meanwhile, women were throwing themselves at Magic.
Oh yeah, we all know. Yeah, we know that.
Best to reach Wilt Chamberlain's number of 20,000.
Yeah, different women have different fantasies, and you wanted to make sure they reached their fantasies. That was my thing.
That was his thing.
You were Magic Johnson.
That's all right.
Yeah, he was Magic.
You didn't mind being a daredevil every now and then.
Thanks to Magic and Bird's rivalry, the arrival of Michael Jordan, but also the arrival of new commissioner David Stern, who cleaned the league of drugs and made the game more commercially attractive to sponsors and TV audiences, the NBA was a completely different league than 8 years prior, when Magic and Bird first got to the league. Back in '79, the majority of the teams were losing money, and the NBA was in jeopardy of folding. But not even a decade later, the NBA was becoming a global brand, with 24 million viewers watching the 87 finals, which was an all-time record. And still,
but I mean, obviously the Showtime, period definitely saved the NBA, like popularity-wise, But with Michael Jordan, it just became, global.
All-time behind the 1998 finals. Furthermore, all the NBA franchises were turning a profit, following the example set by Jerry Buss, who revolutionized entertainment at sporting events. And even though the '87 season was the peak year for Showtime, it doesn't mean the Lakers stopped winning.
I feel grateful to be part of the team. I feel grateful to be alive and living in Los Angeles. And I'm guaranteeing everybody here, next year we're going to win it again.
Oh, yeah.
Another 60-win season followed in 1988, with LA reaching the finals for the 7th time in 9 seasons, this time against the Detroit Pistons. Vegas odds heavily leaned towards the Lakers, but after 5 games, the Pistons held a 3-2 series lead. And yet, in Game 6, it seemed like their hopes were shot after Isaiah Thomas stepped on Michael Cooper's foot and severely sprained his ankle. But then, despite being unable to stand on one leg, Thomas produced one of the craziest performances in NBA history. Like some one-legged bunny, Isaiah miraculously kept playing, hopping on one leg. And not only did he play, he dominated. Thomas scored 25 points in the third quarter alone and finished the game with 43 points and 8 assists. He kept the Pistons afloat the entire game. And with half a minute to go, Detroit was up by 1. The Lakers decided to go with the safest bet and gave the last shot to Kareem to try to win the game with his trademark skyhook. But as Kareem was attempting the shot, the refs called a phantom foul on Bill Laimbeer, who barely touched Abdul-Jabbar. Of course, Kareem made both free throws, and the Lakers had the lead. After Dumars missed the layup on the other end, Los Angeles survived and forced Game 7. In the deciding Game 7, the Pistons once again had a chance to win, but Rodman stupidly ruined a fast break in the final minute that would cut the Lakers' lead to 1, and the Lakers survived, winning their 5th title in the Showtime era. Due to his clutch shooting, James Worthy was named Finals MVP, earning him the nickname Big Game James.
Well, would you like to step up here and guarantee a third straight?
Yeah, James Worthy.
I'm going to guarantee one thing, that we're going to enjoy this all summer long.
All summer long!
The Lakers' success continued, as they posted the best record and offensive rating in the league once more. Magic won his 2nd MVP, and LA swept all 3 series in the West to reach the finals rematch against Detroit. However, this time, Lady Luck wasn't on their side. With Kareem playing at the age of 42 and injuries to Magic and Byron Scott, the Lakers had no chance against the fired-up Pistons, who swept the series and won their first NBA championship. After the series, Kareem retired from the NBA as the all-time leading scorer, all-time leader in blocks, wins, and
playing
MVPs,
in the finals, bro,
among many other records. But despite losing Kareem, the Lakers improved in 1990. Their draft pick, a Serbian center named Vlade Divac, wasn't Jabbar, but he was skilled and nimble, and with the core of the team still in their prime, the Lakers won 63 games, posted the best record, and had the best offensive rating in the NBA once again. Magic averaged 22.3 points, 6.6 rebounds, 11.5 assists, and 1.7 steals per game, which earned him his 3rd MVP award over Charles Barkley, in a controversial vote due to the fact that Sir Charles won more first-place votes.
Okay, but more first. But the thing is that just at first glance, that may look wrong, but really it makes sense if you understand the system. It's because really in the end, what matters is the total points. Not just first place votes. So whatever. Magic in the end just really had a higher total points, and then which is why he won MVP. But yeah, whatever.
Pat Riley won his first Coach of the Year award, but this would turn out to be his final season on the Lakers bench.
Once a dynasty expires, like we did, it was just how long was it going to take for Jerry to build another dynasty?
After playing in the finals in all but 2 seasons during the 80s, the Lakers were finally defeated early in the playoffs, losing in the 2nd round to the Suns in 5 games, despite Magic averaging 30 and 12 in the series. For the '91 season, Riley stepped down and was replaced by Mike Dunleavy, but the Lakers hardly missed a beat. With the addition of power forward Sam Perkins and the improvement from Divac, Showtime carried on, with LA winning 58 games and finishing third in the West. In the playoffs, the Lakers easily got past the Rockets and the Warriors, and in the conference finals, they defeated the Blazers in 6 games. It seemed like Magic and the Lakers were inevitable and indestructible, especially after they won Game 1 of the finals against the Chicago Bulls and the best player on the planet, Michael Jordan. However, for the rest of the series, Bulls coach Phil Jackson switched Scottie Pippen on Magic, who followed him like a shadow on every trip down the court. Jordan was at his absolute peak, and the Bulls were simply a better team, winning 4 consecutive games to claim their first NBA title.
And the Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship.
Those 1991 finals marked the end of Showtime, mainly because of Magic Johnson's sudden retirement before the start of the '92 season due to HIV.
It's tough to walk away from something you love. It's tough. It's still tough.
Really is tough.
Talking to you now.
In the 12 seasons after drafting Magic, the Lakers made the finals a whopping 9 times, winning 5 championships.
Damn.
They also had the best record in the conference 10 times and finished third twice, never winning fewer than 54 games. Magic still holds the record for the highest winning percentage for an entire career, as the Lakers won 74% of their games with Johnson in the lineup. The Showtime Lakers weren't the most successful dynasty ever, as that title still belongs to the 1960s Celtics, but they were the most fun at the time when the NBA desperately needed it. Magic brought the show to the Showtime Lakers, and his no-look passes, fast-paced offense, and always smiling face redefined what an NBA superstar was and how it should be going forward. Magic Johnson, together with Bird, Jordan, and David Stern, saved the NBA, and the principles of Jerry Buss's Showtime are still present in the NBA arenas today. The attendance at NBA games rose 42% from '79 to '89. And because of the Lakers' success and impact on the NBA and sports culture, Showtime is arguably the best dynasty of all time. Thank you for watching. And
damn, what do you guys think of that? Oh my god, this was a good video, man. I can't lie. Damn, overall, shit. Showtime Lakers, were just exciting, They were efficient, dominant, and also, most importantly, ahead of their time. Okay, They just didn't, they didn't just win, they changed how basketball could be played, If you combine elite playmaking and, elite finishing and, what else, and pace like that, it's almost impossible to stop, It's one of the few teams where the hype actually matches the reality. But damn, bro. Anyways, that's going to be it for, for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Let's go.